everybody. Welcome to Real Horror. This is a show where we discuss the horror movie of the week. And tonight we're discussing Sleepy Hollow, the movie from 1999 with Johnny Depp and Christina Ricci. Let's say hello to the panel first. Tommy, how's it going tonight?
It's going. It's going somewhere. I don't know where it's going, but it is definitely going there. And what's going on? Everybody in the chat, welcome. Thanks for joining us. So be sure to share the links out there. Absolutely abolish that like button into the nether and enjoy your time as we were getting ready to hang out and talk about this movie.
Awesome. Thank you. And Tony, nice to have you with us tonight. How's it going?
Great. Yeah, I'm looking forward to tonight because last time I was on, we were talking about The Crow, which is a movie I've seen countless times, but this is actually the first time I saw Sleepy Hollow. So I'm looking forward to talking about it and discussing the movie.
Nice. Well, I'm glad you could be here. And Adam, how's it going tonight?
It's going good. Glad to be here. Just got done playing the movie for those that showed up to watch beforehand, because I miss going to the theater and then you'd get done, you'd go out and get a coffee or a burger or a beer, whatever, and discuss the movie, right? Mm-hmm. So that's what this is, and this is a great movie to do. So great pick. I'm happy to be here, and thank you for doing this.
Absolutely. I'm glad you're here too. Well, that's awesome. I like how you did a watch party before the movie. That's awesome.
Yeah, it just worked out. I mean, because the weather went to shit and I got the work done anyway. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to just hang out outside. It's like 60 degrees and I'm in shorts. So, no.
That sounds amazing.
It's a little nipply for me. But yeah, of course, when it was 75 degrees, I'm out in blue jeans. So I guess I got my days backwards. But yeah, it worked out perfectly. And I looked at the time and I'm like, I got to watch the movie anyway. And I remember Slasher kind of saying something, and I had meant to say something on ETEP's stream, and I forgot. But yeah, I was happy to do it. So yeah, and again, it kind of helps for those that don't have the capability, or for that are doing the same thing we're doing anyway. If you're watching it right before.
Yep, that's awesome.
Yeah, but no, I was happy to do it, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. Like I said, just rewatching it. It's one of my favorite movies. It's a great October movie for sure, but again, it's a good any time of the year movie.
Yeah, it really does fit this time of year.
It does.
I'm sorry, nothing fits better than the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
That's true.
I know.
Ghostbusters too. I mean, it's all good stuff.
I know that's such a classic cartoon. We covered that on Tommy's channel yesterday. If you missed that, check that out. That was a fun conversation.
I'll tell you what I would like to see is the original version that was over 70 some odd minutes long before they cut it down to 25. I would love to see all the extras they put in it, or they could have put it.
I know. I can't even imagine what else is in it. That's cool. All right, let's say hi to some folks in the chat. Toy Mafia, nice to see you. Thank you for being here. Adam on the panel and in the chat. Frankie Knows, good to see you. Tommy also in the chat and on the panel. Mr. Pulp Noir, good to see you. Hope you are well.
Did we say hi to Tony?
Yeah, we did.
Don't mind me. I'm a little bit scatterbrained today. It's been one of those days out there trying to shop for things and seeing that there's no Halloween stuff in one of the dollar stores. It has left me all kinds of shaken.
It's all good. Hey, I have those moments all the time. So yeah, we did introduce Tony. Absolutely.
Yes.
Do we say hi to Adam?
Adam who?
Yep. And Soul Assassin, Mod Extraordinaire, thank you for being here, and definitely slash the like and share the stream out. And let's see.
What's up, Tina?
Tina, good to see you, Tina. Hope you're well. Nice. I'm glad you could pop in.
You notice that the name was right because Vinny ain't here.
Yeah, we get confused. Tina, Trina, it's all the same. I say, well, don't know. Tina's the one with the bad takes, but really, people can say I have bad takes as well. So we're pretty much equals.
You think it's bad? I got a wife named Trista on top of it.
Oh my God, how do you keep any of us straight?
That's why I fuck up all the time.
Hey, can I say, too, neither of your takes are bad. They're just so far ahead of the curve that it takes everyone else a while to catch up.
I love you, Tony. You're welcome here anytime.
You know, all I heard the entire time he was saying that was.
That's me.
And we should be joined. Vinny and Draven, it probably will be here soon. So
fashionably late.
Yes, fashionably late. That's right. So that's cool. Oh, good, King. Hey, nice to see you. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah.
Hell yes. Can I get your autograph, Mr. King?
This is that's a great comment. I love that. I'm the pumpkin the horseman threw. That's a great scene in the movie.
Do you mind me
animated?
Do you mind me getting like the elephant in the room out of the way just to start things off?
Oh, Jesus, Tony, you don't have to talk about me like that. God, I mean, if you want me to leave, I could just leave.
No, come back, Piggy Wiggy.
Yes. No, like, all right, so Christina Ricci is like a shade under 2 years older than I. You know, I grew up watching her, The Addams Family, Casper, seen a lot of her movies, you know, and I think we know the consensus on millennials / Gen X boys and Christina Ricci. I've never heard anyone like complain about her or her looks in particular. But this, I'm a fan of, like, I don't know. She was prettier in this movie than any movie I've seen her in, is what I'm trying. Just the whole style, the, you know, late, what would it be? Late 18th century.
Yeah. I think it was, yes, because it was 1799.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, she was just, like very beautiful in this movie. So big ups to you, Miss Ricci.
Yeah, absolutely. They actually won. This movie was nominated and won a bunch of awards, and one of them was for costume design. So yeah,
it's absolutely crazy when you think about what this movie, what it didn't do, is what I should say, at the box office, because this thing had roughly $100 million budget, and it only nabbed just over 200 million.
Right.
Yeah,
I know.
I mean, it was 30 million or something for the opening weekend. Like, this thing it did not do well at all in the theaters at all.
I know, it's very surprising. I wonder what it was up against, you know, and at the time, what was released at the same time that maybe took away from it.
Well, speaking as like someone who knew about this movie but had never watched it, the cast, I had no idea of the cast in here. You've got frickin' Palpatine, Dooku, Dumbledore, Harry's dickhead uncle, and like Christopher Walken. Like, every time you switch to a new scene when this movie's starting out, there's just another great actor in a role, and it's like, this is almost like a celebration of just like good actors.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. Hey, Vinny, nice to see you. How's it going tonight?
Oh, I came galloping in. Yeah, this movie was fantastic. And that's one of the first things I was going to say too, Tony. Amazing actors in this movie. And the main scenes, that the horseman, the guy who played that, you know who that is, right?
Yeah, Walken.
No. All the scenes that you see is on the horse and all the fighting stuff, that's Ray Park. That's Darth Maul.
Darth Maul.
Oh, no kidding.
Yep.
There's so much Star Wars in this movie. It's insane.
Oh, it's amazing.
That's awesome. So I just assumed that it was Christopher Walken doing those shots.
Nope. That's all Ray Park.
Wow.
It's
cool.
It's great stuff. Yeah. My buddy.
I love your your background. That looks awesome.
Yeah, I had to get a good one in there. This movie was amazing. I don't, it's just what they did in here. Those shots that they had, so fantastic. I mean, I don't know if you're still doing intros and stuff, but holy crap. Yeah, so some of those, the first scenes too. When he takes, I guess, well, technically the first head, you see him like spinning his sword around, and that shot that they had, that's kind of like a little bit behind and over. So you could just see his hand with that sword and how it's coming down on the guy like that. Amazing stuff. I mean, all the shots in this movie were fantastic.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's now, it's funny now that you mentioned that it's Ray Park doing that. It totally makes sense, because I think about how good he was as Darth Maul.
Yeah.
And the way he was like twirling his weapons in this movie. Now now I can absolutely see it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's one of those wushu kung fu masters and shit too. Like that when he was a kid, I think he went to Washington. Like he performed for one of the presidents.
Oh
on the
wow.
lawn. Yeah, he's had a pretty colorful background.
Yeah, that's amazing. And
Yeah.
didn't you meet him?
Yeah, a couple times. I got to hang out with him for a little bit. We almost took him to not Disney. Help me out. What's the other thing? Universal.
Universal.
He almost came. Yeah, he almost came with me and Frankie to Universal.
Amazing.
He stopped himself because he says once they'd start taking photos while he was there, his kids would have crucified him. So he stopped. He's like, nah, I better stay here at the park.
just real quick, I'm sorry, I had to look it up. So,
Yeah.
On November 19th, 1999, Sleepy Hollow was released in theaters that very same day. And there's some other things it was up against, but that came out the week before, week after, whatever. But just on that same day alone, Sleepy Hollow released, Toy Story 2 released, as well as The World Is Not Enough.
Wow.
Okay.
And I also see later on that another thing that actually killed any kind of like longevity with this film was Any Given Sunday with Al Pacino comes out like towards the end of the run for Sleepy Hollow, leading into the Christmas run.
Okay.
Stuart Little is another one that comes up.
Yeah, there were a lot of big movies.
Fight Club had come out a few weeks before that in October. Yeah.
Okay, so that makes sense then why it kind of didn't do as well as I think it should have.
Yeah.
Because I mean, this movie, it aesthetically was beautiful.
Oh,
Yes.
It was gorgeous. The actors were amazing in it.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, Miranda Richardson too. I mean, holy crap.
Yeah.
Talk about your top tier. I mean, the weakest one in there would have been Christina Ricci, but she's got a great fan base on top of it.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying she's a bad actress, but I'm saying out of like all of those big time amazing freaking actors, all the old school ones, yeah, she would have probably been the weakest link, and she still did an amazing job.
Right.
But 207 million, I mean, that's still really good.
It
But
is.
like that's what the numbers should have been. U.S. Domestic,
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, 207 for what this budget was on this thing is absolutely horrendous, though.
What was the budget?
Yeah.
It was over 100 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gord King. Yeah, I didn't realize the same actress who played Rita Skeeter was in this too. So there you go.
And I mean, we're talking, what was it, 99?
Yeah.
So, I mean, back then you'd go see movies all the time. So, I mean, the fact that look at all the good movies that were coming out, and there's a list of them that you would have wanted to go see back in 99, having the 99 mindset.
Oh, yeah, dude. Absolutely.
So, I mean, it shows you how far entertainment has truly fallen in 2023.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But, and I mean, for what is it, inflation, what's the difference from the totals from 99 to current day? Is it different?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't think that they did adjust it for inflation when you calculated box office numbers, but these guys say they do, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, it just makes me wonder, because it seems like it didn't do poor. I mean, I don't remember it doing poorly. I remember going and seeing it.
Well, we had this conversation when I first got into McFarlane, because they had done the figures, they made toys of them. So as I just got in there, it was maybe a year and a half since the figures were released, and like because they still have like the 2-ups and stuff there, the painted pieces, and a lot of them were just. I opened up one box and it was just like he's all kind of chopped up because of the process of what they do, but the paint was all chipped and everything because like they just kind of discarded it. And when I opened up, I went, "Oh snap! A Headless Horseman, one of the figures," and they went, "Yeah, it's a damn shame that this movie didn't do better." But the figure still did well, so the fan base was there. It's odd. It's odd how it.
Well,
again,
you know what?
saying,
Here's the thing about this. I don't find it odd at all. And this is the reason I'm going to explain why I don't find it odd. Historically, if you're talking about something that's listed as a horror movie, which this one was, they usually don't bring in really huge numbers. I mean, you look at even some of the premier ones like Halloween and Friday the 13th. It's not like they pulled in 500 million or anything even close to that. They were usually somewhere around 300 or under. And I think most of the Friday the 13th pulled in. I think the max was like 240 or 250 for one of them that did really well. But all the rest of them, you know, they went down after that.
Yeah.
So really, I don't find it surprising because usually horror films just don't do that well. But usually they don't have this high of a budget either.
Yeah, but see, on top of it, like you were saying though too, and what Tony had said, there was a ton of great movies that came out around the same time. But the other issue with horror movies, and they do this time and time again, they release it at a stupid time. This thing should have been, if anything, at the start of October. But I'm sure because of the other lineup of films and stuff, this comes out November, closer to Thanksgiving, and that's not a family-friendly movie. You know, we've already got out of the horror stage and the kind of, you know, Halloween stuff, and now we're getting into more family type things and family movies. So I think, yeah, that's again, these are the studios making piss poor decisions.
So
Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah, and basically it kind of goes hand in hand with what Good King is saying. That, you know, what it did take in is pretty good for an R-rated film in 1999 and for the time that it was released. So it wasn't released like in October where it would probably do better. It was released before Thanksgiving.
yeah,
So yeah.
the international actually made more than domestic.
That's really surprising.
Well, I mean, this thing actually started off fairly well with the 30 million domestic. But yeah, it got its legs cut out from underneath it. I mean, it probably could have done a lot more if it didn't have such stiff competition, like leading all the way up into the Christmas time when it was still running.
Didn't Matrix come out that same year as well, The Matrix?
Oh yeah, I think it did.
There were a lot of big movies that year.
Yeah, let me see when The Matrix came out.
I believe that was 99.
Yeah, it was. I just don't know when. March 31st, 99. So
that was way before it.
Way before.
But so it was a big year for film. Holy crap.
Yeah, big time.
But this was one of the movies that cemented Johnny Depp as a great actor as well. Because like his fan base wasn't as massive until like this thing came out. Because then I think like when it hit DVD and all that stuff, people really ran out and got this thing.
Yeah.
You know, because I would love to see the numbers on that because I know it did, you know, pretty damn well.
Well, I mean, yeah, and like I wish the movie had done better, but you know, combining everything, like when it was released and how much it actually did bring in and what it was up against, that it really did do pretty well.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't flop.
No.
Well, no, actually, it did flop.
Oh, because the advertisement stuff, you mean?
Well, with advertisements and everything like that, they didn't even double the budget, which means it's a flop.
Well,
because if it doesn't make 2.5 to 3 times its budget, it's considered a flop.
I was going to say, according to the numbers.com, the production budget was 70 million and the worldwide box office was 3 times the production budget. If that, you know, I don't know how much they spent on marketing. Again, it's a movie I knew about. I hadn't seen it, but
Well,
it at
all the
least had-
things I've seen that they talked about the promotion, they spend about 30 million on promotion, and usually
Hmm.
you take your production budget of what it actually costs to film it and you double it, and that's your
Yeah.
promotion for most movies. This one they
Okay.
spent less than half on promotion.
Yeah, because back then, that's the thing too. It's the only movies that really dumped like tons and tons of big money into. There were like the Batman ones at the time, like those Tim Burton ones, like a lot of that shit. So I think Tommy is right. A movie like this probably did have a lot that was still put into it.
Hmm.
And like I said, with McFarlane doing the figures and stuff too, like there was still, they already started branching out into the different, getting the license to other people's hands. I
Mhm.
honestly, I don't know what the numbers were for the figures, but they said that they all sold out. And I don't remember seeing many of them in stores anymore. Because like if you go to look online and shit, like I haven't done it yet for those, but I know in the past they were like impossible to find. Like you type it in and like it almost wouldn't exist other than on Google. So people who got them did love them. So I don't know. There's a lot of strange things that play with that stuff, but yeah, it's, you know what? I'm almost happy that it did the numbers that it did, because I think if it did like 500 million or something, they'd probably want to make a sequel, and that'd be a colossal mistake.
For Draven.
You know?
Oh, hey, Draven.
Hey, Draven.
How's it going?
Because if you look at how those people operate, that's usually what they were doing back then.
you can't have a sequel to this.
No.
Mm-mm.
It'd be
No,
stupid.
no.
Mhm.
That would be terrible.
Yeah, but you know how Hollywood is. Had it done well, they would have.
Yeah.
Yep. But back then, maybe the sequel wouldn't be so bad. I don't know. It probably would have.
No, it would have.
Oh yeah, it would have been bad.
Sequels are almost always a bad idea.
Yeah. But that's usually
So
how
they
operate.
did a few different ones here, Vinny.
Yeah, there's a few of them that I had the box set and that
This
I have
one?
both versions. Yeah, that box set was amazing.
Yeah, I think this picture really shows it off well.
Yep. I mean, granted, like the tree is not in scale, but it doesn't matter. That thing was epic.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah. If they did it in scale, forget about it. That thing would have been massive.
Yeah. But I want massive in my yard.
Right? You just take the figure outside and find a tree that's kind of gnarly looking.
Or like one of those
Oh.
big statues that they do now that are pretty big.
Yep.
Like the animatronic ones.
No. Like Marvel has ones that are
Oh,
huge.
yeah.
They're like $300 or $400 or more.
Yeah,
or
I know
actually,
what
they're
you
in the
mean.
thousands. Actually, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah.
So Frankie says someone has the walk-in figure for $74 on Amazon.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna check eBay.
Think NECA would do these toys or what?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. So the Ichabod, someone's selling them for around 30. The secondary characters are shit. The Headless Horseman, yeah, $100 for the box set. That's kind
Nice.
of what I'm seeing. But it's pre-owned. Someone has it open for like 75. All right. Yeah. So there's some people out there that have them, and the packaging's all messed up too on them because of the
No, almost always is.
yeah. Like the yellow, that the yellow comes out on that. But yeah, someone has the Headless Horseman in packaging with the skull head. Has a
nice.
walking head beside it. $25. That ain't bad.
Wow.
Well, that's the bid right now.
Oh yeah.
Someone has one for $20 that's sealed, so that's good too.
Like selling it or accepting
Probably
bids?
auction.
Best
Mhm.
best off. It's 20.
Oh,
best off.
damn.
Yeah,
Wow.
plus shipping. That's pretty good.
I get worried when they do stuff that low because it makes me think that there's something wrong with the figure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should make a Katrina plushie.
A bed pillow for Tony.
Yeah. Yes.
Life size.
Nice.
The Good King is funny. Johnny Depp was cast because they wanted audience to believe Christina Ricci would want his Ichabod.
I tell you, before we talk about all the niceties film, I want to talk about one of the things I didn't like about this film.
Okay.
And I didn't like what they really did with the Ichabod character. I mean, it strays from the original story, which whatever, it's a retelling. I get that, but they made it feel too much like From Hell, like they, that whole detective style. He's a detective going there and doing all that. I didn't like that aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
I felt that kind of, I don't know. It just, to me, it just kind of like,
because his bravery was too, like, that's not the character. Like,
right, he was supposed to be a coward.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like, they had him like passing out a lot and stuff like that, which they played up with.
Hilarious.
But yeah, I mean, where the thing is where he goes to the tree, and he's like hacking it up, and he finds the heads, and then he goes on the back and he's digging up the great. Like, it seems too over the top. But like you said, because they had to put that detective aspect into it, which does change the character completely.
Yeah, Gord King. It came right after it, and that's what I'm saying. Like, he was already working on that. It just made it feel like that was kind of like an insert for something that he was doing.
Kind of.
A good part that they had him kind of act a little cowardly, like when he finally did see the headless horseman, and he was like freaking out in that in the house he was staying at, the Van Tassels.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like in the bed and he's like, but I saw him. No, you don't understand. I saw him. And then he passes out again.
Yeah.
So, seems like maybe a little bit of a problem with the script, because I feel like his acting was right on.
Yeah, that is definitely like those producers. Like, again, after hearing what Zombie said about the Halloween movies, that they'll just come in with brand new like rewrite ideas, and they'll have their writers come and be like, no, this is what the producers want now, and make those changes. And I know he's had those issues when he worked on the Batman movies as well, the first two. They were giving him crazy notes all the time too, plus his own vision and where he was going. So I mean, stuff like that happens, and I don't know who was involved in this movie, producer wise and all that.
Could you imagine trying to like paint a portrait or write a song, and you have some dude behind, like, well, you should do this, and you should add that, and this and that. It's like, let these people create, and if you don't have faith that they can create it, then hire someone else. But suits getting involved is always toxic. It always messes the
unless
art.
it's an activist that's the writer.
Yeah.
Because usually if it's an activist that's like pushing their shit, like the producers need to rein them in.
That suits wanting that agenda, thinking that's what society wants, or if they just personally want to push an agenda, so they're hiring these activists to do so. Like,
So, Vinny, you asked about who the producers. So I've got 3 producers: Scott Rudin, Adam Schroeder, Larry Franco. Do you recognize any of those names?
No, off the top of my head, I'm curious, like, what were the other movies that they did? But that would give you a better breakdown too of what type of. Because if they were great movies, they'd be like, all right, that means they were pretty good behind stuff. But if it was like kind of odd movies, or we've seen those weird things happen, it's like this movie was going pretty good until it took a left turn out of nowhere.
Out of November.
I'll tell you what, though, even though I don't like necessarily what they did with the Ichabod Crane character through the whole movie, I will say that the thing was wonderfully shot, though.
Yeah, really was. And I think it won an award for cinematography.
It is a cinematic masterpiece. I'm sorry. It really is.
Sure.
Yeah, it got a lot of like artsy awards, like let's see, best art direction, best cinematography. Oh no, it was nominated for best cinematography. It didn't win. Let's see.
I bet some bullshit beat it.
Right.
Probably something with costumes.
Yes, best costume design. It won that. Best production design.
Gord says it was nominated for cinematography, but won for art and / set direction.
Yeah.
Well,
Christina Ricci won an award for best actress.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, Art Directors Guild. It won an award for excellence in production design for a feature film.
Nice.
Yeah, art direction, costume design. Best BMI Film Music Award. That's
cool.
That's pretty cool.
That's the thing. If it made more money, they would have definitely thrown more awards at it too.
Yeah, definitely. Because this won a lot of awards for not pulling in as much as it should have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because a lot of people saw it after the fact when it went to DVD.
Yep.
Again, it's the family season. Horror just passed, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I seen it on TV or some shit after it came out.
So I want to know too, like from Tony. So the first time seeing it was recently. Like, what were your full thoughts on it?
I mean, number one, I was saying this, I think, before you came on. Number one, like, I'm a fan of like darker hair, like as far as women, I like darker hair. But Christina Ricci, she was like captivating. She was really beautiful in this movie. But as a whole, I mean, it kind of got me in from the beginning when the excuse me if I don't remember their name, the Van whatever guy, he was writing the will at the beginning and then was trying to go deliver it.
Oh yeah.
Van Gareth.
Van Gareth, yes, thank you. And to see like that scarecrow with the jack-o'-lantern as a head, and then his driver got decapitated, and then he gets decapitated, and the blood slops against the jack-o'-lantern. That was really cool. That kind of gets you in the mood for it. But it's a really good Halloween movie. I'm kind of surprised I haven't watched it before. It just like I knew about the movie, didn't really watch it. I've always had a weird relationship with Hollywood and their chosen ones. There's a lot of Brad Pitt movies I haven't seen, a lot of Johnny Depp movies because I don't know. But
that too.
This was good, and I really like watching movies from that time period, from like the 1700s, or I'm a fan of that show, Turn Washington Spies, which took place in the 1700s, of course.
Oh yeah.
I just like melting the wax and stamping it with your seal, and just I've always been into that stuff. So it was a fun movie altogether. I think they got the whole kind of like, I don't know if it's Victorian or Gothic or whatever the style was. I think that it was good. I liked the movie altogether.
Nice.
I was a little confused by the ending at first. Like I kind of rewound it and just to make sure I had everything right. With like when he threw the Headless Horseman the skull and he put it on. From what I took from that, he picked up the witch, the girl who had sold her soul to Satan, and then I guess they went into the tree because he was dragging her to hell with him. And that, like he found peace now that he had his head.
Yep.
Yeah, and that she was controlling him. See, that's the cool aspect that I dug about it too. That the horseman wasn't just randomly killing; he was being controlled. He was brought back from hell in order to do this stuff.
Yeah,
that was man that was evil. Not
well, just to add on to that, I mean, there's another movie out there. It's called I can't remember if it's called Hollow or Sleepy Hollow, but it's more of a B-rated movie. I caught it on Tubi one time, and they tried to come closer to the original story where Ichabod's actually a school teacher and everything. He's very cowardly and but they kept that same aspect that he was being controlled by one of the other townspeople seeking revenge on people, but it had to do with them being cut out of their estate and their will and everything, and their family being starved to death by the people who were basically running the town. But it's the same aspect that this person brought the horsemen back.
Yeah, it's a good concept.
Kind of sounds like 2023, Tommy.
The Sleepy Hollow TV series was pretty good.
Yeah, I seen a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Yeah, it started off fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I remember it went weird, but so did Fox.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm gonna have to head out and go back in. My StreamYard is all messed up.
Oh,
I'll be right back.
okay.
Don't worry,
No, the
we
pigs
got
in
this.
control. We're all screwed.
Everyone started yelling the F word.
This is when the stream goes to hell.
Yep. And Trina had a channel.
I'm a messenger of God. You're doomed if you stay here.
Jason's dad doing there. Right.
Yeah, but I really love movies in this style. Like, it really is. Like, it gets you in the mood for the season.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, now that I've seen this, I'm hoping that Tim Burton and Johnny Depp team up and make a Ghost of Kyiv movie.
I'm actually kind of surprised that Tim Burton hasn't freaking done anything else with Depp recently.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
It became such a stereotype for a while.
Yeah.
What was the
Yeah,
last
yeah.
one was what, the remake of Wonka?
Let's see.
Sweeney
I
Todd,
haven't.
wasn't it?
No, it was no. I
I haven't seen the Wonka remake. I was like, man, that feels sacrilegious.
Yeah,
I think Wonka. Yeah, wasn't that the latest movie?
I believe
Thought
so.
it was Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I
Oh,
think
yeah, I
you're
forgot
right.
about that.
Maybe that. Yeah, I think
They
it's
did a
only
few
one
of them, didn't they?
Yeah.
They did
Two, I
two of them.
I think I only saw the first one.
I can't remember.
Yeah,
I
it's
smoked
too
too much
strange.
weed. But at
The
least I
actress was
remember
good.
they existed.
Oh no.
Oh,
2016.
Dark Shadows. Dark
Oh.
Shadows.
Yeah.
I never seen that.
Tree Rock says that Tim Burton probably doesn't want to deal with Hollywood telling him what to do,
yeah.
which that might be it with the whole, things we've seen in the past.
Isn't
10
he
years
doing
or
Beetlejuice
Maybe-
too?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
looking at that right now. I just almost
Yeah,
lost
maybe,
my
yeah.
shit on stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing Beetlejuice too. He's a producer and
Yeah.
director,
Yeah.
and it's filming.
But Depp's not in
No,
that
this,
one.
this is something weird. I thought they did
No.
a second Alice in Wonderland.
They did. It's called
Hey.
Through the Looking Glass.
Through the Looking Glass. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see that one listed here.
Maybe he didn't do it. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe they didn't.
Or
do it.
maybe this site that has this stuff listed here just didn't have that one,
Possibly.
Yeah.
which
The
is
one-
kind of
the-
weird.
But
I don't know. I found him semi-entertaining in some of the other movies. This one, though, I don't know. I just remember this being a lot of fun in the
Oh,
theater. You
But
know?
again, there was a lot of adult stuff in there, and there was a lot of big horror moments. So that's what I was saying too. You had that slight aspect of the marketing thing. It's Tim Burton, it's Johnny Depp. You remember them from like Edward Scissorhands and all this stuff. And it's like, oh, is it a family movie? No, it's a horror movie. Because this thing was rated R, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yes.
Yeah, that's also a harder sell. Because back
Jesus,
then,
Lord King.
back then it was a little bit.
That's like self-torture.
Yeah. Oh God.
Oh God. Ah.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my god!
No. No, Ghostbusters 2016, disgusting.
Mhm.
But
Oh, Frankie.
I like Sweeney Todd. I thought it was good.
Yeah, I like it too. But yeah, it's a musical, so you got to be aware of that if that's not your thing.
Yeah.
I got a great Sweeney Todd piece. It's going to be in the new art book, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Good plug.
The only Sweeney Todd I've seen was in Jersey Girl, when she chose to do that for her play,
Mm-hmm.
that movie Jersey Girl.
Mm-hmm.
And like all the other kids were doing Cats for the talent show, and she chose Sweeney Todd. And like at the end, like whoever's head comes rolling out of the fucking pie shop or whatever, and like the whole crowd of parents are just staring in disbelief. That was
because they actually cook people up and make them into pies.
Yeah, it was a fantastic scene. You've got this cute little girl, just like, yeah, it was a good scene.
I don't think I've seen that movie.
Innocent little.
Tree Rock says something about Tim Burton.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people would think that's automatically a mixed bag, but Tim Burton proves that he can do stuff that doesn't always have to be all dark.
Mm-hmm.
He's done it before, and who knows? Who knows?
Wasn't that the Nick Cage one that they were gonna do?
Yeah.
They have like a little snippet of that in
that would have been a
Flash movie.
massive fail.
Well, hold on. They probably so that suit that we see, like, that made it around the internet, like, imagine if Nick Cage was actually cast as Superman. Okay, that definitely wouldn't have been the suit that he wore in the movie. But I do think that they could have made it work, because there is a point in the comics where Superman has longer hair.
Yeah, but he's not balding in the front.
No, they would have.
Well, they wanted to do that with him so long ago, and it was such a bad idea. So,
it would have been awesome. I love fucking Nick Cage. I don't care how.
He was better.
I don't hate Nick
he
Cage. I just not as Superman.
Not as Superman. He was better as Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider, yeah, Vinny.
He was better than that.
No, he wasn't.
Because again, he's not in control. He's being taken over.
That Ghost Rider, the first one, was terrible.
It was.
Thank you.
His acting
I
was good,
didn't say it was a good movie. I said he was
Yeah.
better as Ghost Rider.
He was better as Johnny Blaze. He was terrible as Ghough Rider when he turned into Ghost Rider. And the second one is actually better than the first one.
Amazing in that second one.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's the way he was supposed to.
I just wish they would have got the Ghost Rider aspect of it right. But we're here to talk about Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah. Yeah, those movies were fail. That second movie was, by the way, it was just an advertisement for those directors to do Twisted Metal, which it almost happened, and then it got dropped out.
I could see that.
Yeah. So it was basically just, it was, here's our resume. Look, we could do car stuff and motorcycle stuff.
You know what, Good King? I agree with you. It actually was pretty entertaining. And you know what? I could see Tim Burton directing that movie.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen Renfield?
Yeah, I went in theaters to see it.
Oh, nice.
I liked it. I enjoyed it. I thought Aquafina was going to be annoying, and I was pleasantly surprised.
Yep, I remember that.
It's the company, what the hell's his name? The one from Walking Dead, Robert Kirkman.
Yeah,
he was involved with that. And I heard there was some nefarious things with the money. Like, he screwed over backers in order to get that movie made.
It really is a shame with Kirkman. I mean, the guy, he does have an eye for stuff for franchises, stuff like that. Because I know he actually did some work with Transformers and IDW right before they went to shit. Mm-hmm. And he did some backstory stuff, like, helping to flesh out characters based on the original Marvel storylines and everything. And he did a fairly good job with the stuff he was working on. But of course,
he's talented.
We know how that went. But,
he's talented. He's just not such a great person.
Well, can you say how many great people are in Hollywood? Let's be honest.
One hand.
Before Hollywood.
Yeah. One hand. But yeah, you guys, it's like herding cats. We got to talk about this movie.
Yes, absolutely. Because there were some, again, epic scenes in there. One of the ones that broke my heart from when I watched the movie the first time is when I think it's the second time he's summoned. When Johnny Depp was kind of like he saw his remains, and and then he came out of the tree, like the hooves first. Like, that was amazing how they did that. How he just like burst out from the dirt, in between the dirt and the trees. And then we went to that house, and like they're standing guard in one part of town, but he popped up on the other, and he took out that one dude, the wife, and then the son that was under the floorboards.
Yeah.
When he had the two heads in his hand, he's walking towards the door, he stops, the lightning goes, and he turns around like there's another. Like, he knows. Like, he could just sense it. and then he just goes into the floorboards like that. And that next scene, after he pulls the kid out, he's just putting the heads into the duffel bag. Like, that was into the sack. I was like, oh, man.
Yeah.
The kid wasn't even safe. Like, that was heart-wrenching right there.
It really was. That was so well done.
Yeah.
I'm just really glad that they didn't do that on screen. I don't think I would have been able to stomach that if they did that with a kid on screen. I get like Mama Bear comes out when I see kids hurt and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I agree. That's why even like with Through the Woods, we didn't show what had happened to the character.
Right.
The one character, because it's like it's unnecessary. That's too much. Let imagination go with that one.
Yeah. People know. Yeah. If it's written well enough, people know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're just into gore if you want to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just disturbing all around. It's not a visual need.
But I think it's the fact that it wasn't seen is what makes it so good.
Yes. Sometimes it really is what is not shown.
Remember the old horror movies where you didn't see fuck all?
Yeah. Yeah, and they were so well done because they relied so much on atmosphere rather than
and building suspense and all that stuff. Yeah.
The way it was shot. Yeah.
Now they're really, like the monster movies, now they're like, two minutes in, they reveal the monster and it like loses everything. It's like, what's the point of this?
And like you said, there's no surprises anymore. In this film, there were a lot of surprises. Even that aspect of when they had like Christina Ricci's character, she's making like the good kind of pentagram symbols and stuff. There were protection spells, and people were thinking, "Oh, that's it was a curse or something," and she's the one who's controlling the Hessian, and it wasn't. It was the opposite. Like, those kind of things are great. You need to put those elements in a story because it gives you more to chew on. Nothing's hand fed. There's still some mystery.
Yes,
it's smart.
Absolutely.
It's good writing.
And like us Italians, we know, like when they showed the that drawing under the bed and the young the kid there, I already forgot his name. Young, what were they calling him?
I know who you're talking about. But yeah, he had a weird name.
Maspeth.
Yes, young
Maspeth.
Yeah, and he says it's the evil eye, and they made it like he made it sound like, oh no, that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like us Italians, we know. Wait a minute, the evil eye. No, that's a symbol of protection.
Yeah.
Like that's to ward off evil.
Yeah, I was even bigger with the Greeks.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Oh yeah. When I was in Sicily, my cousins were telling me all about it, and like they were everywhere. And they told me that it started with the Greeks, and then the Italians took it too.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it originated from Italians.
I mean, we'd have to deep dive into that one, but from what they were telling me, they said it was Greek.
No, it's I mean, I believe your cousins, they're from there, so yeah, but anyway, I was thinking, no, wait a minute, that's for protection. And it added more it added like a little more mystery to the movie, and I thought it was very interesting. And then she's doing that again in the church, and even at that point, you're kind of like, wait a minute, is she the bad guy?
Mm-hmm.
And this was just really well done.
It was. I mean,
back when they were made to be entertaining.
Yeah.
Because she even says about how, I hate since you've came into my life or whatever at that one point. Mm-hmm. So you're like, oh, is she the bad guy or whatever?
Right. Yeah, because they wanted you to think that she was the bad guy. Like when he came back from the notary's when they came back from the notary's office, and she was sitting there, and it kind of felt like, wait a minute, why is she there? This is weird. And they even had Crane kind of like being suspicious of her, so they made us be suspicious of her as well. And that was just very good acting, great script. I really have no complaints other than it's a deviation from the original story.
Yeah.
But as far as the movie itself, very enjoyable. And I just love the way everything looks.
Yeah.
They even throw you with how having the lady that actually is the person behind it like get killed,
Right.
or
Yeah.
you think she gets killed, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Miranda.
Mhm.
Yeah, or,
And once again, that's something that they repeated in other movies, like the other B-rated one I was talking about. They did the same thing in that. They make it look like she gets killed, but it's actually somebody else.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, the big giveaway was like the cut in the hand when he went to go inspect that.
Yep. Yeah. It's a very enjoyable movie.
Oh, for sure. And then yeah, when you find out it's it was the two little girls, the two sisters.
Yeah, like that was like when they showed him at the beginning, that was not going to be inconsequential.
Yeah.
I loved that. He's like shh, and then the girl does like snaps the stick.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, that was just awesome because the way it was so loud because everything else was quiet.
Yeah.
And it gave away his position. Like it was just diabolical from the beginning. I just love it.
So good.
Shows you how evil that little bitch was.
Right.
Period. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. She killed her own sister. She did all that shit. You understand why when
Yeah.
we get to the end of the movie, which I'm not gonna say anything because we're not there. But I mean, God, she wasn't just evil.
Yeah.
Right? And it's funny too, because like the sister that was more of the crazy one that you think is the evil witch that's in that little cave area was the good one.
Yeah. That's funny.
That whole scene right before he meets those two little girls is great, where he's like just slaughtering people.
Oh
That's probably my favorite part of the movie.
Well, yeah, the build up of what's the Dumbledore guy, how he's telling it. That guy he's such a great actor. I know he passed away recently, but the way he was telling that story was so good. How he filed down his teeth to make himself even more menacing and terrifying on the battlefield.
Yeah,
like all that was so good.
Yep. Yeah, the way the makeup was awesome. Like the way
I wanted to do that in my edgelord days. File my teeth to points.
Oh yeah, I know. Ellen, I know a lot of people, a lot of goth people that wanted to do that and stuff. Yeah.
But for the character building and for Walken to be the one that does it, and it just, oh my goodness, it was just perfection. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's Walken's true form.
Yep.
Yeah. I know.
No makeup needed, no props, nothing.
It's funny because like knowing Walken from other movies, you kind of expect a certain cadence from him.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't do that in this movie, which kind of threw me for a loop. It was like, wait, he's supposed to talk a certain way, and he's not doing that in this movie. What's going on?
He didn't talk at all in this film. He just yelled.
No, yeah, he just yelled.
That's a great movie. I'm so glad you picked this movie.
Yeah, this was Tommy's idea, I believe.
I know.
Yeah, it's so amazing. One of my other favorite scenes is because he couldn't cross the Holy Land, the threshold of the church.
Yeah.
He throws his axe and it turns to ash.
Yes.
So he takes that part of the fence and you see like he throws it through the window and you see it get the guy in the chest like that. Yep. And then he takes him with the horse and pulls him out the window. That was amazing.
Yeah, really that's my favorite death scene in this movie, dude.
Yeah, because the head it slides in between the fence and then he takes it clean.
Yep. Yeah, that was a great kill scene.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, I loved that. The way the axe disintegrated. Oh man, that looks so good.
It did.
And he was pissed. He's all you motherfucker. That was my favorite axe.
It kind of makes you wonder though.
And he'd been listening to the Guinea Pig Collective, man. I'm telling you.
I kind of got a wondering though for this.
What's
like
that?
if they didn't go quite as dark with it, I'm not saying they couldn't have had it a little bit dark, but if they would have lightened it up a little bit and made it just a little bit more towards the PG rating, do you think this thing would have did a lot better?
No.
If it was PG-13, I think it would have done a little bit better, but I don't think it would have done gangbusters. Had it been again start of October, then or end of September, then we're talking because you'd have good couple of weeks where it could just rake in money. Because people are all about Halloween, come mid-September, everyone's like itching for Halloween. So this would have been a perfect release for that. Because it's tough, like you said, Halloween. I mean, horror movies, radar horror movies, they don't do well They started doing better a little bit closer to, like, I'd say early 2000s, because everyone's like, all right, technology is better. So now, these horror movies should be even, more kick-ass or whatever.
I think PG-13 would have heard it though during that time frame, just because more kids would sneak into our movies than PG-13.
That's true.
Just on that point, though, I mean, just solely of, I know I've snuck into more R-rated movies than I did PG-13.
Yeah.
And for the time frame, 99, the world might end. It's a Y2J or Y2J.
Our theater never checked for a thing. They just let us see R-rated stuff. So
right, that's how most of ours were too. We had buddies that worked at the places. They didn't give a shit. They're like, we get paid by the hour.
Yeah, same. We at the theater near us, they would never checked. They just let us in.
It depends.
It's that lure of you're lied to by advertisement. Rated R, you can't go. Then you finally get the courage to go up there, and they just are like, get out of here, go, get in there. If you have nightmares, I don't want to hear about it.
That and they're smaller theaters, so they're trying to make money. And by turning away people to see it, they're you lose money.
Yeah, it was kind of a strange time. But, yeah, it is interesting. I am curious to see what it would have done.
Yeah, I know. I guarantee it would have done much better in October. I mean, because you've got the what do you call it? The scarecrow wearing the pumpkin.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's made for Halloween time.
Oh, absolutely.
And people
Wait a minute, you mean to tell me this isn't a Halloween movie? Get out.
Right?
Well, it's again, you have a sweet spot. Like I said, those couple of weeks is like a perfect time for this. So yeah, the studios couldn't make it work. They're retarded.
Yeah.
Yeah. Congratulations, you screwed yourselves on that one.
Yep.
You get an F.
So much talent was put into this movie.
Yes.
Stuff like this, it's big. Those set pieces, the windmill, the town itself, the tree, like those are some really big kind of moments. And, you don't want to screw that stuff up.
Yeah, absolutely. And real quick, let me read this from Tree Rock. He says, I had a conversation with a director at a con. I asked him why modern movies show monsters most of the time. He said most of the executives and investors of the movie want directors to show them.
Yep, this is true.
So yeah,
it's supposed to, if you do it, it's supposed to be a big reveal at a key moment.
Yeah.
When you don't do that, you're hurting yourself because you lose that magic of what that character is or the fear you're going to have. A good example of that, I saw a movie kind of recently called Cobweb. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that one. I believe it came out the start of the year, maybe. It has the guy who played Homelander, Anthony Starr. He's in it.
Okay.
Chapman, who's that? The woman who played like the young version of Misery. Elizabeth Chapman, I think her name is. She has kind of like big eyes. She's pretty, but there's something about her that she can always kind of play crazy. And she's the parents. They're the parents of this kid, who the whole movie, it's paced in a very certain way. That movies they're not really paced like that anymore. It felt closer to like a low budget kind of horror movie. Mm-hmm. And then there's some really freaky stuff that happens towards the end or the last act of the movie. And throughout the movie, like the kid's hearing stuff through the walls. And it's a spooky movie. I wouldn't say straight up horror. It's more spooky, but there are some big moments that happen. I'm not going to spoil what happens in that last act, but some gruesome stuff, I'll say. And the person that's behind the walls, like the whole story is kind of cool, but it's a monster type thing that's in there. Mm-hmm. And had they showed that in the beginning, it would have destroyed this movie, And that's something producers they do all over. And it's like, no, if you're gonna do it, save it for the end.
Yeah,
those kind of surprises. And even still, it wasn't super clear shots of what this is. Mm-hmm. There's one or two moments where you see a good chunk, but it's more of like the creepy movements, the creepy things going on. You know, when kind of hell kind of breaks loose in there, and it works. It works for that kind of scary stuff. You don't want to have the big
creature
reveals.
feature style. Yeah.
Barbarian's kind of like that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where you
that-
don't really know what it is until
Yeah.
like,
till like pretty much almost the very end.
Yeah.
I want to go back to something you were saying though, Vinny. You know, everybody was saying about releasing at a certain time of the year. And I was looking it up just for my own amusement.
Yep.
And I'm thinking about some of the actual Halloween movies that are released. Now we know most of the Halloween movies always released on or near Halloween time, but there were a few that didn't, and all those did not do as well in the theaters. Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers, Halloween H2O, Halloween Resurrection, and both of the Rob Zombie Halloween movies.
Right.
That they didn't come out at Halloween time.
Right, they came out in September, August. One came out in July.
Yeah, July is an odd choice.
That is odd. I would say September is more. That's more of your sweet spot.
Yeah. September to October, like the just about like
late
week
September
before.
to mid September to like
Yeah.
early November or October.
Yeah, that exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And to what you were talking about, the movie Cobweb, if anybody's interested in checking that movie out, I just looked and it looks like it's streaming on Hulu. I'm going to check it out.
Yeah.
It looks awesome. Yeah, that girl that you were talking about, she was in that show, and I believe it was also on Hulu, Castle Rock.
Yeah, she played the young Misery from
Yes.
the Stephen King. Yeah, she was fantastic in that.
Yeah, very, very good.
Because I've seen her a couple other things, and I was never really super impressed. Or, like, she didn't stand out to me, but in that show, I was like, "Holy crap, she is doing an epic job."
Yeah, I've seen her in other things as she was kind of a main character for a little while on True Blood, and she's good at she's a good actor.
Did she play on True Blood?
She was not a vampire. She was kind of a vampire blood junkie. I forget what they're called in that show.
Well, I mean, most of the other ones they call them ghouls.
She there was like not fang bangers. No, she didn't. She just used to like to ingest the vampire blood, which gave normal people like
ADD, ADHD beds. Yeah.
Yeah.
ADD, ADHD. Yeah.
And like it could make you trip, and so it was like a drug to normal people.
Yeah, like an adrenaline rush. Yeah, I remember the show.
Oh,
that
okay.
Was the last time I had cable was when True Blood was on.
I only watched the first season, and I tried to watch after like the show I think ended. I tried to watch the second season, and I couldn't do it. The whole moth thing was like, what the hell is?
Yeah, I never
this?
seen it.
I remember like going into my mom's room and there's like an orgy on the TV screen and blood. I'm like, Mom, what are you watching? She's like, True Blood.
Sounds like my kid. Sounds like my oldest son. Mom, what are you watching? Mom, why do you watch that stuff?
Mom, I've never been asked why do I watch that stuff. That is adorable. I know I want that now, damn it.
I'm telling you, you got to pick a time when you're going to watch something absolutely freaky and just have a black bowler hat with you, and then have on that elongated nose. So when he turns around, and when you turn around to answer him, you look like Alex DeLarge from Clockwork Orange, and watching some of the old In and Out, boyo.
Nice.
Oh, by the way, I did double check on something too that Tommy was bringing up. So the movie that started making big money for horror, sadly, it was the Rob Zombie one, the Halloween movie. That's the most that franchise ever pulled in. Well, at the time, I don't know if the new one was broke that, but it did 80 million, and the opening weekend was like 30 million on that one, and it was released the last day of August. So, like I said, going August, September, October, that's where your money is going to be with horror. And most of these things, like Tommy was saying, they don't come out around Halloween time. And that screws it up so much for people.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's strange decision to me.
Mhm.
He's probably gone now, but Good King, I'm so sorry I missed your exit. Hope you have a great stream and have a great night.
Yeah, have a great one.
Be
And
well.
I don't understand why. I don't know. I just don't think horror gets the love that it deserves, especially like certain horror. Like I know that if it's just a gore fest, I can understand why it's not going to do well. That's a very small niche crowd that
Yeah.
likes that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But when you've got a movie like this is artful. It has a strong story. It's got
Yeah.
great actors and
Good twists. Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot that went into a movie like this. It's not just, I don't know, people kind of look down on horror like, oh, that's not real art and stuff like that. But, there is some horror that really, has awesome scripts and then there's a lot that goes into it.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, the shots in here, like one of the house before this house, you drive down this road and it's all trees and stuff. And you could just imagine being in a carriage like what you saw in this film, right? I mean, granted, I was in a car, but that was kind of the lure to that house. And then, of course, this one, those of you that know me or have seen stuff on the channel, I've got quite a bit of land and it's all woods and I'm always out there working in it or burning or doing something. And then there's the work. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know, just the way it was shot. It's just one of those movies that to me, it's just like Ash versus Evil Dead is perfect. And I was hoping we'd get Universal monsters, not what we got, but it would have been nice to have an updated version if they would have went, there's good and bad parts on this, but if they would have updated this way versus what they did do.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I love this film. I own this film.
Yeah, same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't own it. I'm definitely gonna look for it, get it on DVD. That's the way you gotta start collecting these movies, physical copies.
For sure.
Yeah, because they're really like they're trying to do away with physical media.
Mhm.
It'll be a thing from the past. It's going to be like if you ever watch the Alaskan Bush people where they go and there's VHS tapes and you kind of flippity floppy through VHS tapes from one county to the next.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Because our buddy Mr. Chris Fisk has kind of brought up the points about the streaming services, and when you really think about it, why in the hell are you paying that much money every month for shit you own or shit you could own for like $15-$20?
Yeah.
Right.
And then you can watch it as much as you want. I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, I'm lazy and it's a little bit convenient in my situation, having a disabled person in the house, it's a lot easier to pay those couple of extra bucks. But like I've said, I have a limit, and they keep raising it. Go ahead, keep raising it. I just won't have your stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Or sadly, then I have to go to the one which I hate the most, which is with commercials.
Yeah.
But luckily enough, you can watch the whole movie, no commercials, as it should be.
But see, that's the other thing, which is an excellent point. All these streaming services, they're starting to put advertisements into these things.
Yep.
And that's just god awful. Especially you're watching a film, you're so into it, and it gets completely destroyed because here's a 30 to 60 second
Cable 2.0.
Yep.
Yeah, it's even worse than cable because if you remember, with cable you had the regular cable channels, which those would have commercials, and then if you paid for like Cinemax, HBO, etc., those would be commercial free.
Well, it all started originally commercial free, if you remember.
I don't remember that.
No, yeah, well, that was the big thing about cable when they first introduced it. It's like, here's your TV, commercial free. That was the whole thing behind cable TV. And then like everything else, they just started putting ads all over it, put commercials all over it. And then of course you see like your HBOs, your Cinemax and all the other ones that came out. Prism at the time was still around early on, and they started putting commercials on their shit as well. But initially, it all started off as supposed to be an ad and commercial free.
I had that conversation earlier. That was the whole thing. Like you couldn't, like we were poor, so we had Air TV, so you can't bitch that you get commercials. It's over the air. It's free.
Yeah.
Shut up. You know, I mean, yeah, you're paying for the electric, but
Yeah.
once you paid for cable, it's like no commercials. You know, that was supposed to be the whole point, and then they reneged on it. And it's like, oh, now you have commercials, and I never understood it because like I got to pay for the cable, and the advertisers pay you to put their crap on here, but I had to pay to watch this. So why am I being punished?
Right.
I remember when we first got it, and we were like watching Nickelodeon. The only commercials they had were for their own product.
Yep.
And it was just they play stuff back to back.
Yep.
But there's nothing new coming out like that I'm excited for. Like this was a big deal back then. You know,
For sure.
we like I said, okay, we're talking about 99 in the time frame we're discussing, and look at all those great movies that were coming out. We don't even have anything close to that in 2023. And it's sad because how did we go from this to what we have today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of things, I think everything is way more expensive because of inflation. And yeah, just greediness, and it's just a lot of things.
Well, I'm meaning even just in the film industry, you know, just look at what they did with CGI in here, what was and wasn't, and then look at how heavily, because again, you're right with the inflation, but when you use CGI or you use that stuff over practical, it's gonna cost more money. Go back the practical way, you know.
Yeah,
Go back to the old way of shooting film.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. And people enjoy the practical effects way more because it feels real.
Yeah.
That's why like some of the newer horror like A24 and their stuff is like doing really good because they have such a small budget and they're all practical and they're starting to turn back to more practical effects, which is awesome. I'm glad to see that. Yep.
Now I just want them to keep the scripts, you know, modern message free.
Yeah.
And horror right now seems to be it's not always safe.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's been pretty good as far as like not really any narrative or message.
Yeah, for the most part.
I've noticed.
Yeah, I agree. It's so far horror has stayed mostly safe. I can't even think off the top of my head any recent horror with like the message in it. I can't.
Other than them.
They, them.
Yeah.
They, them.
Oh,
they,
yeah.
them. They, them. And I mean, again, you knew that's what it was going into it, though, right?
Yeah.
Like, I
Right.
didn't expect it to be a slasher.
Or the hunt. The hunt kind of was, but it backfired on them. So,
You know, the thing with the hunt is that ended up being kind of like a bash on both sides. And like, if you're gonna do it, at least do it that way. Although I'd rather have a story that just doesn't include the politics at all, because I feel like you really don't have an imagination if you have to put modern crap in your movie.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I mean, they
you
always
know,
kind of have, right? Like you had Rambo, and then he's taken on the Russians, and before that, he's taken.
True.
I mean, to some extent,
Yeah.
But I mean, for the majority of it, you're 110% right. You know, there's certain aspects that just don't have any place there in the first place.
Well, I
Yeah.
think another big problem with horror is they try to overcomplicate it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you take a pretty basic story for a horror movie, I mean, you're going to need a little bit of background story. I'm not saying just make it okay. Here's the bad guy, he kills, and that's it. No, if you have like some small background to it, they can actually do really well. And one of the movies that was horror related that actually broke the mold on that very early on, that was 1975, was Jaws. Like that was one of the few horror movies that really broke the mold early on about you can make a horror movie with a pretty simple story and make it compelling and people want to watch it. And if you take that box office and if you convert it to today's, it's something like $1 trillion or something, 1 point some trillion dollars, whatever it is. Like that's like unheard of for a horror movie right now. I think the closest they got to it was like It Chapter 2. with the new versions.
Yeah.
I think that was around 700 million or something.
Yeah, that first, I think that was the biggest horror movie. The box office on that one.
As someone who enjoys horror but doesn't watch many horror movies anymore, one thing that got me, and it's a problem in professional wrestling, you throw the person against the ropes, they come back, and then they just like weirdly bend over, and the guy runs up and kicks him in the face or hits him with a famous or something. Just those weird things, they will do something completely unnatural to set the other guy up to perform a cool move. You get that in horror sometimes. Like, you'll have this 6'3", 270-pound guy just and screaming as the chick killer stabs him in the chest. And it's like, punch her! Fight! This is your life. And a lot of horror movies do that. They like set something up unnaturally just to get a cool like kill scene or something.
Yeah.
And it takes me out of the moment. It takes me out of the movie because it's like again, this is your life you're fighting for. Like, or like another example, Trina, if some dude was mercilessly attacking you and you finally stick a sewing needle into his neck and he falls down, would you set a knife right next to him and turn around? Because that was like 6 different scenes in Halloween. Like, what are we doing, guys?
Oh, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to get down and you're supposed to push him on. Hey, buddy, you okay? You all right? That's how you're supposed to do it in a modern horror film.
Or like
You gotta check and make sure they're dead.
According to South Park, it's coming right for us.
Or like if the killer's holding a knife and then like the person who was like fleeing from them ends up getting him down on the ground somehow, and he's like he passes out or whatever and drops the knife, and you just leave the knife there. No, you pick up the knife and like that. Now that can be your weapon. Like
whatever you do, don't ask them. Say, hey, guy, are you okay? Oh, so sorry. Because then you're going to get in trouble because you misgendered the killer.
I just want to say, hey, Curtis, nice to see you. Thanks for stopping by.
I'm just saying, like, maybe a better way to handle the one scene. You know what I'm talking about? When they're in Jamie Lee Curtis's, like, living room in Halloween, she sticks, like, the sewing needle or whatever in Michael Myers' neck. He falls down. Then I want to see the tears come out. Like, when you finally get over a traumatic situation and now it's okay to cry. Have her cry, take the knife, drive it into his chest, maybe do it again, and have the little brother come down like, it's okay, and try, grab her shoulders and pull her away, and she's just crying, and then they walk around the corner for a second and then turn back around and he's gone. That would be more natural,
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's why she should have cut off his head.
No, you are right. I mean, it was very frustrating watching those movies and seeing that type of stuff because, like, the rest of the stories, everything else that's kind of going on in that picture, like, I enjoy. But you're right. There's so many moments like that. It's just like, it's insulting.
But see, those are teachable moments. When we watch those and these stupid people make these stupid decisions, we're like, no, what you should have done was this. And now if that ever happens to us, now we know what to do.
Yeah. Well, what made it especially frustrating, I get you're in a messed up situation, so maybe you do something you normally wouldn't have done once. But then 10 minutes later, she gets him in the eye with the wire hanger when she's hiding in the closet.
Right.
And then, like, stabs him again, sets the knife down next to him again, turns her back to him again, and goes to talk to the kid. Like, lady, like, you didn't learn, you just did that 10 minutes ago. And
that's when you at the very least pick up the TV and throw it at his head.
Yeah, something like. Just don't like. Here's your murder weapon, sir. Now I'm gonna turn my back. Like.
Yeah, when it gets really stupid like that, I start rooting for the bad guy.
Yeah, if you put down the knife, you got to put it down in a place you're not going to lose it, like his testicles. Or
Yeah, exactly. You gotta use them as a knife holder.
I will say this though: those type of stupid people in the horror movies, they do exist. We've seen them. A lot of them work for Just Stop Oil, and they glue their hands to cement.
Yep, it's so true. It is so true.
They probably lick toilet bowls and eat Tide Pods too.
Tommy, please.
Hey,
Soulless Assassin is attacking you, Tommy. Did you see his comment?
No, he's letting you know that if the guinea pig's there, he's going to nibble away all the wrappings. See, that's what's going to make the mummy run away.
Oh, I like that. That's a good idea.
Wise man. I was going to say, could we take note of something as well in this picture? Basically the first Rob Zombie. We had Tim Burton. He put his then girlfriend, like in all of his films at the time. The one who played Johnny Depp's mom.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that really hot chick with the big knockers.
Johnny Depp's mom. Yeah.
Yeah, in the film, like they put her in the Iron Maiden and all that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was Tim Burton's girlfriend, and he was putting her in like Mars Attacks, Ed Wood, like all of his big movies around the time.
Well, at least he didn't like show her off the way that Rob Zombie likes to show his wife off.
This is true.
At least
isn't he with Farouja Balk now? Timber?
I have no idea.
He was with
because she's in a lot of his movies, like all the time.
Well, he was with what's her face, the British actress from Sweeney Todd.
Yeah, Farouja Balk.
No, that's
or no. Fuck, what is her name? I gotta look it up.
Who are you trying to figure out?
The other actress she was in Harry Potter, the crazy one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't know her name.
Wait, who was she in Harry Potter?
The one with that wore the funny sunglasses or the
Helena Bonham Carter. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh yeah.
Bonham Carter.
Yeah.
Hey Coyle, how's it going?
Hale.
What's up?
That was Tim Burton's wife, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
For a while, yeah.
Bonham Carter, yeah.
He's with somebody else now, but
She's in Fight Club too.
Yeah, she was good in that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, he picked some. I mean, the two of them look kind of perfect together because they both look kind of creepy and crazy, but both really talented.
I was watching the Harry Potter 20-year reunion that they didn't invite J.K. Rowling to. But yeah, I guess
Why?
Harriet, because she has common sense.
No, why were you watching it?
Oh, because so my nephew was born there. I read the books and watched the movies with him and stuff. So I liked it. I liked the Harry Potter movies. Okay, and the books were pretty good. But I guess Daniel Radcliffe had a raging. He really liked Helena Bonham Carter back then, and then she kind of showed up in the reunion. She's aged a bit, and she's like, well, you're of age now, Daniel. And it was
Creepy.
Timing. They meant, when one was interested, the other wasn't. But as a teenager, he wanted Tim Burton's wife. That's all.
Jeez.
All right. Well, I mean, at least it was hands off until,
My favorite part of the movie. This is my favorite part of the movie here. I think you'll agree.
That's the one I play on my show.
Yeah.
I know. Screw your freedom.
Yeah, I know.
But I mean, come on.
Think of now.
He's headless now.
Coyle,
she wasn't going to have the bumper, but that's still my favorite part of the movie.
Coyle mentioned that he's putting in hours at Spirit Halloween, and dude, that is amazing that you work in there. That's awesome.
That's great.
I love that store.
Yeah.
And he says that Helena Bonham Carter was pretty good in Fight Club.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
Yep. You get to see her naked too.
I think I might be the only 90s kid that did not like that movie.
No, I don't think ETEP liked it either.
Well,
Okay,
he doesn't.
good.
He has terrible taste, so he's
Or
not.
has he not seen it? I can't
He-
remember.
That
I-
woman-
Really,
Yeah, I don't know.
ETEP watched through the entirety of Batwoman, and he'll tell you, I just couldn't get through Breaking Bad. Like, what is wrong with you? dude?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You know, it's not.
Yeah,
it's not
his
breaking the
credibility-
balls enough.
His credibility is getting lower and lower.
Yeah.
by day.
And why exactly haven't we bullied him yet?
Oh,
we
we'll do
do.
it.
We did.
We've been telling him get back on. He's like, yeah, I want to try again. And me and the wife like,
There's
"Wait,
no
it was a
try
weird
there.
time."
Do and do not.
Yeah, he was making excuses of
Which
like
it-
why they weren't that into it, but they'll give it another shot. I'm like, you have to, especially when you get to the part with Tuco.
Yeah.
Like this show just keeps getting better and better. Every season just tops the previous one, and
Yeah.
the stuff they do in there is amazing. Like I rewatched it kind of recently, and I which when I finished Better Call Saul, like the last season, I
Yep.
went back and watched, and I had Breaking Bad playing while I worked.
Well,
And
and
then
you know,
I
I
watched
think
El
you're
Camino.
I think you're breaking this down way too much, Vinny. You
What?
got to cut ETEP some slack. It's not his fault. He's barely coherent and he's drooling all over himself because of how wasted he is. So he doesn't really know what
It's-
he's watching.
It's funny because like we'll show him these like he hasn't seen any of the John Wick. He's like, oh, they just didn't look interesting. And then we show him this trailer. We show him the trailer for something that is literally just like John Wick. He's like, oh, that looks awesome. That looks awesome. It's like, motherfucker, like go
I've
watch
told-
this other thing too. It's basically the same thing.
Is he afraid his wife is going to get hot for Keanu Reeves in it?
Oh, she's gonna
Like
hate
dr-
my new channel, or he's gonna hate my new channel then. It's gonna be Keanu Network. Oh, go ahead,
Oh
Tony.
man.
No, just out of circumstance, I missed the first John Wick's, and then the second came out, and then before you know it, the third, and then they're making a four. I haven't seen
Yeah.
the John Wick movies either, and I want to.
Mhm.
I just haven't sat down. So I've told him a few times we should do a watch party because neither of us have seen them, so
Oh,
we
yeah,
may as
yeah.
well watch them together. You know.
Mhm.
Dude,
Yeah.
let's do it.
I don't know. I finally seen it after not wanting to watch it,
Mhm.
and yeah, I was not that impressed.
I wasn't a fan of the first
Kick
one.
him from the
Kick him.
stream right
Kick
now.
First kick him in the teeth. then
I
kick him.
can't kick him. He's got his own keys. He can come back in.
Well, still kick him anyway.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
No, don't
Yeah,
kick
No.
Anybody else?
Let him back in right now.
Big on his comments. Like I saw the first movie and it wasn't for me, so I didn't bother with any of the rest of them.
Curtis is on your side, Tommy. He says, I've lost like 5 dogs in my life and I've never murdered because of it.
Yeah, but this was linked to his wife who died of cancer that he
And
was
That was her
madly in love
last
with.
gift to him.
Yeah, exactly.
To
Yeah.
I'm
keep
just
him
saying they
sane.
could have not killed the dog too. You could have told the entire story without killing the fucking dog and it'd have played the same
It's-
way.
But
It's
that's
not
why
just the
that's
dog.
why he got another dog too. You
I know.
so, I mean,
I'm just saying that's what took me out of it. I was like, they could have done it without doing that, but whatever. And I just never went into the second one. And I heard that the second one and the third one are like back to back, like hours apart.
I
Right,
can't
yeah,
Yeah,
remember
they
the
all lead
time.
into each other.
All I know is that I hated the third one. I did like the fourth one, but 1 and 2 I like the most, and then I like 4. I think I feel like if they just keep making them, it's going to cheapen the franchise.
but there's no need to make another one.
That's
the
what I'm
thing, too.
saying.
That Keanu and the
Yeah.
director both said that. They said if we have a great idea for it,
Mhm.
we'd both be willing to do it. But as it is, it looks like it's just great. You know, that's it. 4 is all you need. You don't need that 5th one. We're good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of. I was the same way with a lot of the Rambo movies. Like I like the first 2, but then after that, it's like, yeah, okay, this is just getting redundant. It's just
Yeah.
him in different scenarios, and to me, that shit is just boring as hell. And I
Mhm,
think that's probably why I wasn't such a huge fan of that movie.
mhm.
It's just because it felt like every other action movie I've ever seen.
Well, Sylvester Stallone said it in Tango and Cash. Rambo was a pussy.
Yep.
I
We have
don't.
it.
It.
I got your back,
It-
Tone.
Enough said.
Enough heads together.
It was the Rambo actor who said it, so it,
Yep.
you know,
Well, I
has
like
always
Wick.
stayed with me.
I like Wick because of the build-up as well. That this
Mhm.
guy was like this, you know, essentially the boogeyman for bad people. He was hired
Yeah.
by those families to he was like unstoppable. And now that he's retired, he's living the life that he was supposed to have. But then his wife dies. She gifts him this dog before he goes on a killing rampage himself, or he offs himself because he was in a
Does
super
this,
dark
this suddenly
place.
become the John Wick discussion hour? Like,
Yeah.
what's going on here? No, you know what?
We did an hour and a half on the other one. Let's go into
I want
John
to
Wick
hit.
now,
I want to
damn
hit
it.
something that Soul Status said real quick. He said, "What John Wick swapped places with Jonathan Harker." You know what? I would have rather seen. Now, this is just me. I would have rather have seen Keanu Reeves as Ichabod Crane in this one instead of Johnny Depp.
Oh,
I-
come
I-
on.
I'm telling you, I think
Stop it.
Keanu Reeves would make a better Ichabod Crane.
No. Well, okay, no, I am not going to allow this. The Keanu Reeves, I love him. He's gorgeous. He's a great John Wick.
Whoa.
He does not have the acting chops that Johnny Depp has. I'm sorry.
I agree.
I agree. Yeah.
He did. He has like, you know what he's really good at? Moving around. His line, the way
Not
he
speaking.
delivers,
Not
Right.
speaking.
not
Well,
he,
less
when
is
the way
more.
he delivers lines is horrible.
Well, less is more for him,
It's
and that's why I
10.
like the John Wick
We don't
movies
like it.
because when he did speak, it had weight to it because of the story and everything. You don't need this guy giving giant dialogue all over the place. Give him his moments, and he had them, and it worked. That's
Yeah.
why that franchise works. If he's in like, he can't really do accents and stuff. He's not that skilled, but for what he does is amazing. Matrix 1 was that movie's fucking perfect. I'm
Yeah, it
sorry.
is.
Yes,
That's
that
one of my
was.
favorites.
It's perfect
Yeah.
garbage, is what it is.
Oh my God, Tony, what the heck?
Ridiculous. Now he's being a dick just for the sake of it.
Yeah,
I know
Guinea
Frankie
pig is
was not a
Wong, is
fan
what you're
either.
saying, Draven?
He wasn't
What's
a
that?
fan.
I said, you saying that the guinea pig is Wong?
yes. I like 47 Ronin too with him in it. Because I made we went and seen that, and I was like, yeah, I learned to be a samurai in the Nebuchadnezzar, which was the ship, and
Mixed them, yeah.
I
Yeah.
mixed them. Yeah,
Yeah, because I know Frankie was against the Matrix. And I don't know if it was a hatred for Keanu. I don't know what the deal was, but he didn't want to see it until a certain point. He's like, you know what? I never saw. I'm like, how did you never see this? So I popped it on for him, and he's like, yeah, this is a good movie. He goes, so you got the other ones too? I'm like, I do, but don't bother watching them. One's enough. That's all you need.
Yeah. Like I couldn't wait for the sequel by the end of the first Matrix. I was like, yeah, and then
Yeah.
Jesus, every other movie was garbage. But
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
fair to the Matrix, wasn't it supposed to be like an interconnected consciousness? But the studio was worried that the normal person wouldn't understand it, so they turned them into batteries instead.
Something along those lines. And then there's also the story that it was a stolen idea. The whole premise was stolen from someone else. So that's why it's like they didn't even know what to do with the sequel.
Mhm.
And since you're working for
they
the
shouldn't have done it in parts. It should have been one movie, and they could have cut it down to be one movie.
Mhm.
Yeah, but let's capitalize on the popularity and make two movies, and then yeah.
And then by the third one, is like it just kept getting progressively worse.
Yeah.
I know I've seen the fourth one, but I still can't remember it.
The fourth one is terrible. Do not
Dude,
watch it. You haven't
I
seen
didn't want. It's like everyone effing died in the end of the third one. I suffered through that.
Mhm.
It wasn't as bad as the second one, in my opinion, but it was still. I
bad.
watched it like once,
Yeah.
and I think the Wachowski sisters stole the premise from the Wachowski brothers.
I think so too.
Did the brothers turn into the sisters?
Yep, agreed.
What a bunch of psychos.
I'm just saying.
Mhm.
I don't know. I mean, The Mummy was fun, and then we had this, and we had such high hopes for good movies like this, and here we are in 2023 watching something from 1999 because it was perfect.
The Toad Sleepy Hollow is really good. Like that
Yeah, that
to
was.
me is like the standard when it comes
Yeah.
to Sleepy Hollow. Like
And
the
at the
story.
time too, like when the what was it, the Disney one, with the
Mhm.
really like that. It was a short, but I mean, it was still it was
Yeah.
pretty good for what it was.
Yep.
Hey, RR, how's it going? Nice to see you.
What's
What
up?
up, RR?
And he says, yeah, it was stolen from Play-Doh.
There you go.
Oh, the Matrix fashion. Yeah, it was like this like cyberpunk. It was like a cyberpunk fashion.
I still have the Neo jacket.
What? You got to
Yeah.
model it.
I wear it in like it's part of my outfit for my
That's
character.
jacket.
Nice.
But a lot of that fashion that they used in the Matrix, that shit, they stole that shit from freaking Blade Runner.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
It's kind of a like off subject story, but all right, when Matrix Revolutions came out around the end of the year, like towards the beginning of the new year, and my buddy was dating this girl at the time. She was like one of those like pathological liars where you knew she was lying, but she would just say the story anyway, and she'd always like mean to say one word but would say another word, and just she was kind of an airhead. But I remember like right before that movie came out, the marketing was ramped up. It was the third movie, the end of the trilogy, the whole thing, and she kept talking to us about our New Year's revolutions. I don't
New
know.
Year's Revolution.
Yeah,
I love it.
and she was really into the Matrix movies too, so it's like I don't know.
My profile picture here is me wearing the jacket.
Okay, let's show.
So
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, I loved that. That jacket was awesome.
I don't know if you can take anything Draven says about Keanu Reeves seriously.
this
'cause
this
he's got
is
a
me
picture
wearing
of
it
him.
down to the ring too.
He's got a picture, a full-blown picture of Keanu, life-size, over top of his bed.
That's me wearing it as well.
I thought
Oh
we all
yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
That is a cool one.
Mhm.
Nice. Well,
Vampires in the
we
Matrix.
totally went off on a tangent
Yep.
tonight.
Yeah, we did.
Mhm.
That's okay.
We could talk more about that on Friday if you guys want.
Yeah, whatever. We'll have to have another stream just to talk about this movie.
We hit most of this. I mean, did we really miss much?
No.
You know,
All
I
right,
wish
Adam.
They did. All right, Adam. I wish they would have did more stuff with the pumpkin, like him tossing pumpkins. Like they had in the
Yeah.
original. I mean, they didn't have to make it cheesy. It didn't have to be a flaming pumpkin or nothing like that. But I just that was something else I kind of wish they would have added into it. I mean, I know they were going for more of a horror element,
Mhm.
but I think there was some way they could have added something else like that into it too.
Yeah, I agree. I thought that scene was awesome. I think they could have. Yeah, it would have been awesome to see more of that, and it totally fits in the film too. And I love that they kind of because that guy was jealous of Crane because like Katrina was. You can tell that she was into Crane and that guy Brom, I think his name was. He was getting jealous, so that's why he pulled that prank on Crane. But yeah, they could have definitely done more with that. And that scene on the bridge, that was awesome. The way that he threw the pumpkin and hit Crane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just I loved that.
It's kind of funny when his head got cut off.
He
And
was
the
quartered.
flaming, or not the flaming, the exploding windmill was cool too.
Oh, that
That
was
was
so
cool.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, when that guy would, that Braun guy, whatever his name was, when he got quartered, like it was like arms, the waist, like he
Yeah.
took him apart.
Yeah, he was like cut in half or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
And Johnny Depp was like lying on the ground watching it. Yeah.
awesome.
Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I mean, and again, like one of my other favorite scenes is like the one that I have that's up right here. When he takes out the fat guy like that and he chops his head and it spins, and then when it comes off,
His dick uncle.
huh? Yeah, Harry Potter's dick uncle, and then the head tumbles in between his legs, and then the horseman goes to retrieve it by putting the sword to the top of it.
It reminded me of Ralphie from The Sopranos. It's like after he's dead, you realize he's bald. like the wig flew off. It's like, damn.
Yeah.
One of the things I did like that they did in this, this is actually, as far as I remember, it doesn't follow the original novel, but the novel hints on it about the backstory of who the Horseman is, how he was a Hessian soldier, and anybody that doesn't know, a Hessian soldier was somebody that the British brought in that were from Germany who fought for them. So they were the Hessian troops. So I like that they showed a little bit of that backstory, like he was a Hessian mercenary and all that stuff. I thought that was actually a cool add-in to this one.
Yeah, I like that. I wish they had gotten a little more into the history, because I think the Horseman himself is kind of is actually a really interesting character.
Yeah. It really is.
But Soul Assassin has a really important question for the panel. So smash or pass the evil stepmother?
Miranda Richardson? Definitely smash.
Smash.
Especially in this movie. Oh my God, she looked amazing.
Yeah. The dead sister, too.
She had herpes all over her mouth, though. Remember when she lifted up the thing and her sister decapitated her?
It's all the same in the dark.
Oh man.
Oh no. You're pulling you're pulling a gash.
Nice going. Nice going. After saying that, Draven's ready to hand out a hall pass.
Goddamn.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, there weren't like many unattractive women in this. It just kind of blows my mind, because like usually if a woman has darker hair and she dyes it blonde, I'm like, it looked better dark. But Christina Ricci, like, especially in that opening scene when she did like give Ichabod Crane a kiss before she knew him and then took the blindfold out, it was just like, damn, she's beautiful, you know? Like,
You know,
looked really good in the...
They did her eyebrows as well. That's why. So it all kind of matched.
Yeah, they did a good job of making her look blonde.
Well, you make Johnny Depp look ugly, you make her look hot. Plus, it's a natural beauty for the era, right? Like, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just like, she was doing Reese Witherspoon better than Reese Witherspoon. So.
Thank you. I always said that Reese Witherspoon always felt like a cheap knockoff version of Christina Ricci.
Yeah.
With that pointy chin of hers. Jeez. She could have played the Joker.
She was good in Edward Scissorhands.
Winona Ryder is...
She's amazing.
Yeah.
Edward Scissorhands?
No, I have not.
Oh my God.
Wow.
It's just one of those. It never was on a thing that I had to see it, you know, and it just never was any one of those movies where like I was dying to see it.
Yeah. It's strange, but it's good.
Yeah, would
Vincent
you call
Price
it?
is in it.
Yeah.
Who is?
Vincent Price.
Yeah.
Wow, I gotta see that. It's been years since I've seen it.
He's the creator.
Yeah.
Would you consider that horror?
No.
No.
It feels more like a storybook kind of.
Yeah.
Like
whimsical kind of thing.
It's like a dark comedy, if anything.
I wouldn't say comedy either.
See what
There was a lot of
tragedy.
There was a lot of comedical parts.
Drama fantasy is what it's
Drama
classified
fantasy.
as.
Yeah, that seems right. Oh no, we're doing this thing. What would you call this movie? We all have different ideas.
Well, there was a dog in it too, so it's also a pet movie. Because remember, he's cutting all the dog's hairs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not unless John Wick's in there killing people who tried to hurt the dog.
Right.
Oh, it's also a Christmas movie because there's snow.
Yeah. But wait, I don't understand. Wait, where the Winona Ryder thing? We were talking about Reese Witherspoon being a knockoff of Christina Ricci. Where'd you get Winona Ryder from?
I don't know. We're just mentioning girls from the at this point.
Yeah, no, that's a klepto idea.
The hairdresser in that movie is really hot too.
Vinny, were you not paying attention earlier? I told you Angelus was handing out a hall pass, so he's talking about all the smashables now.
Okay. I got
Smash! Draven Smash!
I know, Frankie. Like, thank you for bringing that up, because a lot of people have wondered that.
But isn't he just a living doll?
Yeah, he is. He's a living doll. He doesn't. Yeah, he's not real.
He doesn't poop,
Yeah,
but he can cry.
He don't have them private parts either.
See, I learned a long time ago that everybody poops.
Yeah, if you eat, you poop.
Did he eat in that?
And cry.
Well, think about this. He wasn't real because every time he cuts himself, you never see him bleed.
Right. Yeah. Interesting. You know what he was? He was with the Klaus Schwab once. They want to create people without using people.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to.
So that's
watch
how
that
you
movie.
cure hunger with having scissor hands. Yeah.
There's like a
designer, baby.
I bet in the basement of that castle, he's got like an army of those Johnny Depps, and he was gonna attack the town.
He never got a chance to make his hands before he passed away.
No, he did make his hands. Remember, he tried to hand it to him, and they went right through his scissors.
Oh, that's right.
He was having his heart attack at the moment.
And then he cried.
Yeah.
Like he cries every time his scissor hands cut things that he wants to hold, or
Yeah.
it's very sad and emo.
It is very sad and emo. I love it.
That explains it.
Yes, Frankie, they do have dolls that pee and poop.
Thank you.
What has this evolved into?
I have no idea.
I have no idea. It's your fault.
Why is it my fault?
I don't know. I just wanted to blame you.
Because she said so.
Thanks.
I tell you what, Edward Scissorhands though is like the perfect movie for Gen Z. They're always screwing everything up and then crying about it afterwards.
I love how Draven's between two horsemen, and yeah,
That's awesome. Oh man. Well, yeah. So anybody who is still tuned in to hear the review of this movie, this is actually a really awesome movie. And yeah, if you haven't seen it, if you can find it, right? I know that it's streaming on HBO. I think that's the only place right now.
Max,
but yeah. If you can get to it, totally watch it. It's an awesome movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Totally.
sad I didn't watch it earlier. Honestly,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at that point, just message us and give us an excuse to watch it again and start talking about it and talk on a bunch of other movies too.
Edward
I would say-
Scissorhands is also in Max, by the way.
I would say even with the few problems that this one had, as far as I was, like talking about, like not following the story properly with Ichabod Crane and everything like that, this still is a very enjoyable movie. I mean, if I was giving this one a rating, I would probably give this one at least an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
This is definitely an enjoyable film. I mean, there's so many really good older films like this that really, I think they come so close to hitting a perfect mark, but they don't always need to. You know what I mean? This is a bit of a retelling. So, and even though it's a takeaway, it doesn't follow the original story. It's not that much of a takeaway just because it's their own version of the story. And the fact that they were able to do a damn good job with the change in story is still pretty telling, I think, for this one. And I think this one really is underappreciated for everything that it did do right.
Yeah, I totally agree. 100%. Everything you said.
See, the pig can make sense when he wants to.
The pig has a point.
But the Matrix still sucks.
You're wrong.
Well, like past 2 on, yeah.
All right. Well, I think we did cover the movie enough. And unless there's anything else you guys want to add.
I mean, the hand hanging out at the end, and then they go into, what was it, New York?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Is how it ends, and it's 1900s.
Sleepy Hollow is upstate New York.
Yep.
So they just went down to the city.
Yep.
He's gonna put babies in her.
They're gonna be beautiful babies too.
Yeah. I give this one a 9 out of 10. That's my score.
I can get on board with that.
Mm-hmm.
I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. 8 to 9 out of 10. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a bit, on the fence with it, because like I said, to me it's like Ash and Evil Dead, man. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. Like this is perfection. I love this movie.
Nice.
For what it is, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
and again, that's just my opinion, but I love the way it's shot visually. It's scored well. The stories, it's a mystery. It's science fiction. We get over here. You know, you can't get into the church, but you know, for what it is, man. I love this movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think I think Draven mentioned earlier he liked this part, but I don't think we needed the windmill scene, or at least like it was really, he dropped the lantern and then the camera, like it switches to the next scene and it's backed up showing the whole windmill and the whole thing's on fucking fire. Within a few seconds. I just don't think we needed to watch the windmill blow up, especially when he mentioned the problem was the horseman was already dead. So I just don't see what that accomplished.
Yeah.
Three Stooges humor, I guess.
I know what happened. Dino De Laurentiis, he called up. He goes, "We blow up your house. We blow up your windmill," and then he hung up. You know, like he did in another movie, Red Dragon.
But that's just
right.
That's a very minor nitpick.
Yeah.
Altogether, like it was a really good movie. Again, it's perfect for this season. I love the backdrop of the rural, 18th century little village, and even when they go to New York, like I was telling my wife, like, see, it would have been cool to live back then. See, back then there were horses all over, and the people crying about the climate now, back then those people were crying about the horse poop problem in New York City, and how civilization was going to end because of all the horse poop, and then the automobile was created and the problem went away. So it would have been cool to live in the city back then or in a rural village. Either way, I like that time period. I like the story. I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10.
Nice.
You know?
Well, Tony, I mean, if you like horses, you could always go visit Lucasfilm. I heard Kathleen Kennedy's there with a whole stable.
Bring a salt lick.
And a carrot or an apple.
Yeah.
Or two
How about
apples
you,
and a carrot.
Draven? What's your verdict?
I liked it. Probably like 8 out of 10, probably.
Nice.
Christina Ricci or whatever, she's pretty hot too. So
Yeah.
And she's still hot. So
Yeah, she's a beautiful woman.
So Draven gives us 8 hall passes out of 10.
Yes.
Okay, after the stream, we're gonna have to explain hall passes to me.
8 chromosomes out of 10.
Oh God.
Goddamn.
Well, I want to, thank you all for being here. You guys on the panel, like, awesome review tonight. This was a lot of fun, and all you guys in the chat, thank you so much. You guys are always awesome, contributing to the conversation, and yeah, I just, I really do appreciate you all. I love the chat. So yeah, let's go around the horn and see what everybody's up to. Tommy, let's start with you. What you got going on?
We are the Guinea Pig Collective. All will be assimilated. Resistance is futile.
It's just a shame that your guinea pig had to be a homicidal maniac like Jack Frost.
Same thing I'm always doing. I'm up to no good. What else would I be up to? Doing the same thing as always. Trying to have a little bit of pigween cheer before it disappears. And of course, most of these big giant outlet stores are already trying to make it disappear a week before because they're a bunch of sons of bitches. But that's just kind of the way it goes. Doing the same thing as always, doing toy reviews, getting the pigs now in their pigween costumes. The first up was Indy. We showed him off on Tuesday in his pigween outfit. And, of course, we're going to wind up getting the rest of the pigs in pigween outfits coming up, too. Hopefully I have one of the pigs in another outfit for tomorrow's toy stream over on Vinny's. And then I'm just going to have to do a bunch of shorts and videos with them in their outfits as well. And, of course, we're doing more BattleBots stuff, actually working on a new custom piece for the BattleBots arena. and eventually I'm going to get around to trees if I can figure out how the hell I'm going to make a Moffat battle bot. But guys, always having fun, and that's what we do. If you're not having fun, why are you doing this at all? There's plenty of places for misery, and you could keep it at home with your box of tissues and your lotion, because we don't need it here. But thank you so much, everybody that hung out with us in the chat. Everybody that's on the panel are absolutely amazing. I love you guys. And guys, remember, never let anybody tell you what you can and can't say, which you should or should not think, because your silence and your compliance gives consent. Catch you next time. Whee!
Nice. Oops. Okay. Tony, what you got going on?
A whole lot of not much, you know. I'll be around. Hopefully, I'll be on the stream over at Vinny's on Friday. But yeah, you never know where you might catch me. Just check the different channels, ETEP's channel, that kind of thing. If ETEP's doing his party on Saturday, and if Vinny gets Super Mario Wonder, then Draven, and I should try the online thing. And if not, we can just do some Mario Kart and chill after AEW or whatever you guys are doing. So that's kind of it, you know. I really miss creating content, but I'm doing this code thing, and I just can't justify the time it takes to create. But hopefully I'll be back soon. Until then, I love being on all of your channels. Yeah, and happy Halloween to everyone.
You as well. I'm so glad you could join us tonight. It was a blast having you.
Yes, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And Vinny, tell everybody what you got going on.
Well, besides lobbing off heads of fat people, I'm riding a horse, and no. You hear this? You know what that is?
Kathleen Kennedy bucking back.
That's her galloping. But what this is Mario Wonder. Tony, I got it today.
Nice.
Sweet.
So
Awesome.
yes, I'll try to crack it open this weekend, and we'll get some gaming in there, because I've been itching to play this, especially after seeing Draven play it. You were talking about it nonstop too, and game looks gorgeous. But in the meantime, my day to day, I am working on a bunch of great projects. I have a new art book that should be. I think I'm going to do the sign up thing for it first for about a week or two, and then get ready for a launch of a brand new campaign. This is going to be bigger than my other two art books. This one's going to be 64 pages, front cover to back cover. So just teaming with amazing, fantastic artwork. I can't wait to get it into everyone's hands. Literally gonna do a test print of it first before, again, even launching this campaign, or building the campaign rather. Get ready. We're gonna have some good stuff coming at you. We'll have a teaser of City of Venus 2 in there as well. I have a couple of cool panels and pages and whatnot in there, to get you all salivating for some more, because it's coming and it's going to be fantastic. And in the meantime, yes, Fridays and Sundays is when I do my streams. Tomorrow we'll be doing a toy stream on my channel. So it'll be Tommy, Trina, Adam, Slasher, whoever else wants to come on, always invited. Because we want to talk about toys and the other cool stuff that we enjoy, and it'll be a good time, that's for sure. And I think we'll be headed over at least to ETEPS for a little bit, and then over to Draven. So thank you so much. This was a blast tonight. Love everyone on panel. Love everyone out there in the chat.
Yes, glad you could be here. Awesome review.
Always.
And I have Mario Wonder too. I got it. I think it was Monday that I got it. I haven't tried it yet though. I haven't had a chance, but I'm looking forward to it. It looks awesome.
Yeah,
I've enjoyed it this whole time, but there's if you remember in Super Mario World, they had that special world, you go to that area and it's shaped like a star, and then from there you can go to a special world. They have a special world in Super Mario Wonder, and I was trying to complete the last 3 or 4 levels on it today, and the difficulty ramped up to a point where I hope no minorities were walking past my open window while I was
Oh,
playing
no.
them, because I went from like 55 lives down to 9. I'm like, what the?
I was trying to do the first one, and I was getting my butt handed to me.
Oh man.
Dude, it gets so hard. And now this is all optional stuff, of course. Not
Yeah.
quest, but holy crap. I'm like, what did I do to you guys to deserve this?
Oh no.
Oh
You tell me
man.
that, you tell me that after I picked this up.
It's
Well, you were
it's
watching me do the
optional.
one level.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, but like you said, that wasn't a level you have to do, but it'll unlock more stuff. So yeah.
Well, you know what? At no
Yeah.
point did I hear Tony say this was Brie Larson levels of entertainment, so it might still be okay.
Right.
All right, Draven, thank you so much for being here, and tell everybody
Yeah.
what you got going on.
Yeah, so tonight after Holy Shit News at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, we'll watch tonight's episode of Dynamite. It's in my home state of PA. So yeah, so it should be an interesting show. I wish I could have been able to go to it, but yeah.
Yeah. And here's a link to ETEPS after this, and then that's the link to Draven's.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. And Draven, thanks so much for being here. It
Yeah,
was
thanks
a
for having
blast.
me.
Absolutely. Glad you could be here. And Adam, how's it
Yeah.
going? Tell everybody what you got going on.
So you'll see me with all these fine folks, of course, as always, and on the men's room at Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'll be hanging out with Draven watching wrestling, and then I'll bounce from there and jump on with the men's room. And then when the men's room's done, jump back on and watch more wrestling.
Awesome.
So that's what I'm doing. And then I'm just going to be my hillbilly self doing the same thing I always do, which is raking up leaves and burning shit and filming it on YouTube and just kind of going that route because, well, I got nothing else going on. And I think I'm going to try it with the watch parties if I can do it. I'm going to try to watch do a live watch party like I did today. So that way, whatever we're about to all be talking about, I'm going to, have that on the channel. So yeah, there you go. That's what I'm going to do because, well, I got nothing else going on.
I love that idea. Yeah, let me know and I'll help promote it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I kind of
awesome.
just did it to see if it would work out, and everything worked out fine. And yeah, you were excited about it, so I was like, all right, cool. I'll go back to doing this because yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. But no, thank you for doing this. It's always fun. This is a great group of people. Love you guys, and just always glad to talk about good stuff. Whether it's the toys or the movies that we're doing. Even though I'm not a big horror guy, I do enjoy the occasional horror movie and franchise. And yeah, it's been a blast. So thank you again, Trina, for doing this. And Tommy
Absolutely.
for suggesting it. And, Tony for being not a bigot and showing up. And Draven for taking his fangs out for a minute, and feeding to come hang out with us. And Vinny from taking a break from his art book.
Absolutely. Yeah, everybody's busy. So, whenever you guys make it to these streams, I really appreciate all of you and all of you guys in the chat. Same with you. I know, everybody's got real lives that they're doing. And so I appreciate your time, honestly, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you all so much. And next week is going to be a little bit different. We're going to be doing Halloween 1, the original 1978. It's going to be a watch party instead of like usually we jump on and we just go right into a movie review. This one is going to be a watch party stream. Be the first one I'm doing on my channel, so that's going to be different.
Yep.
But yeah, 7 p.m. Eastern, same time as usual. Actually, not the same day as usual because Tommy was nice enough to give me Halloween this year. So it will be next Tuesday instead of next Wednesday. So yeah, next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, we'll be doing Halloween on this channel. So it's going to be fun.
I know it's the only time I won't be playing the movie before that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because we'll be watching
you're doing the watch party. But what I might do, depending on if it works out, I might have a bonfire burning while we're watching it, so my background will be the bonfire.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, I'm excited.
Promise
Nice.
me when you guys watch it that my rant about the knife will echo through your heads. While it's
I think
playing
I'm
out
going
on
to
the
clip it,
screen.
and on occasion, I'll just play it in the background, Tony.
Nice. Well, everybody, hope you all have a great night. And yeah, we'll see you next week. Or, most of you go on these guys' channels like during the week anyway. So I'm sure I'll see you like tomorrow, Friday, whatever. But yeah, everybody have a great night.